Superman is the foundation of the DC universe. He is more than just a superhero, he is a myth, a godlike figure, and an unbreakable symbol of hope. While many characters have come and gone, Superman is a constant, representing the best of humanity despite being an alien. His presence reassures the people of Earth that someone will always be there to stand between them and destruction. But what happens when Superman dies? This is not an abstract question. Superman has died multiple times in comics, from his iconic battle with Doomsday in The Death of Superman, 1992, to his cosmic sacrifice in Final Crisis, 2008. Yet, these deaths never feel final. Superman always comes back. For Superman's death to be meaningful, it must break the cycle. It cannot be just another temporary absence, it must be a true, final, and definitive end. But what kind of death would be worthy of the Man of Steel? What would it mean for the DC universe? And, most importantly, what would it mean for us, the audience? This essay will explore these questions in full depth, analyzing what makes a good Superman death, who should deliver it, how the DC universe would react, and what it would mean for the mythology of Superman itself. Why has Superman's death never stuck? The idea of Superman's death has been explored time and time again, yet he always returns. Why? Because Superman is too important to DC Comics. His presence keeps the entire universe anchored. Unlike characters like Batman or Spider-Man, whose heroism is often fueled by tragedy, Superman represents hope. He is the embodiment of the idea that anyone, regardless of their past, can choose to do good. He is an ideal, and ideals do not simply die. This is why his previous deaths have never had a lasting impact. The death of Superman, 1992, Doomsday physically beats Superman to death, but he is resurrected within months. His death is treated as a major event, but it ultimately lacks deeper meaning beyond showing how much Metropolis misses him. Final Crisis, 2008, Darkseid's Omega beams send Superman to a limbo-like existence, but he returns through time travel manipulation. The New 52 Superman's death, 2016, a terminally ill Superman sacrifices himself, only for the pre-Flashpoint Superman to replace him almost immediately. Each of these deaths had weight at the time but ultimately felt temporary. For Superman's death to matter, it must do what no other story has done, change the DC universe permanently and redefine what Superman means. What makes a good Superman death? To craft a truly great Superman death, it must accomplish three key things. 1. It must reflect Superman's core values. Superman's death should not be a simple act of destruction or brutality. If he is to die, it must be in a way that reinforces everything he stands for: selflessness, hope, and justice. A Superman who dies in a meaningless accident or random attack is not Superman. A Superman who dies purely because he wasn't strong enough to win a fight is not Superman. A Superman who dies choosing to sacrifice himself to save others, that is Superman. For his death to have meaning, it must be an active choice, not something forced upon him. He must willingly lay down his life for something greater, proving that his strength was never just in his powers, but in his heart. 2. It must have lasting consequences. If Superman dies, the DC universe should feel his absence. How do Batman and Wonder Woman cope with losing their closest ally? How do the people of Metropolis react to losing their greatest protector? Do villains become bolder? Do heroes struggle to fill the void he left behind? The world should not simply move on as if nothing happened. A true Superman death should redefine the status quo of the DC universe. It should force heroes to step up in ways they never have before. The best comparison is the impact of Captain America's death in Civil War, 2007. His absence left a massive hole in the Marvel Universe, one that deeply affected the heroes who remained. Superman's death should have an even greater impact. 3. It must challenge the audience. A Superman death should not just be sad, it should make us think. It should force readers to ask deep questions about what Superman represents. What does a world without Superman look like? Did humanity rely too much on him? Can we still be good without him watching over us? A powerful Superman death should make us feel his absence, not just as a character but as a symbol. It should leave us questioning whether we ever deserved a hero like Superman in the first place. Who should kill Superman? 1. Lex Luthor, the ultimate intellectual victory. Luthor has always believed that Superman is an obstacle to human progress. If Luthor were to finally defeat Superman, it would not be in a physical battle, it would be a battle of ideals. Imagine this. Luthor manipulates the world into believing that Superman is a threat. Through careful propaganda, he convinces humanity that they must choose, live under Superman's protection or stand on their own. Superman, unwilling to force himself upon a world that no longer wants him, chooses to step aside. But the twist? Without him, Earth isn't ready. The world collapses into chaos, proving that Superman was the only thing holding everything together. Luthor wins, but at what cost? This death would be haunting. Superman would not die in a fight, but in faith, hoping that humanity could stand without him, and realizing too late that they couldn't. 2. Darkseid, a mythic, godlike end. Superman has always been framed as a god among men. What if his death was his Ragnarok, his ultimate battle against Darkseid? Picture this. Darkseid launches an invasion that no one, not even the Justice League, can stop. Superman fights alone, pushing beyond his limits. In the end, he doesn't just die, he transcends, burning himself out like a dying star to take Darkseid down permanently. His last words: "You don't need me anymore. Be better than me." His body disappears into light. His essence remains, not as a person but as a guiding force, ensuring that his legacy lives on forever. This would be the legendary Superman death, transforming him into something more than mortal, a hero whose story never truly ends. 3. The Anti-Monitor, erased from reality. What if Superman didn't just die, but was erased? In a final battle against the Anti-Monitor, Superman chooses to sacrifice his own existence to restore the multiverse. The tragic twist? No one remembers him. There are no statues, no history books, no memories, just a strange emptiness where Superman should be. Yet, even without him, people still feel inspired. They still believe in truth, justice, and kindness. Superman becomes not a person, but an idea. This would be the most haunting Superman death, one that asks, do we still believe in Superman, even if he never existed? Conclusion: the death Superman truly deserves. A true Superman death should not just be about spectacle. It should be about legacy. The best Superman death would be one where he chooses to sacrifice himself, not because he has to, but because it is the right thing to do. And in his final moments, he doesn't just say goodbye. He looks to the world and says, "You never needed me. You were always strong enough. Now prove it." And then he's gone. No body. No grave. Just an empty sky. And the question: can we still be Superman without him? What do you think would be the best death for Superman? Should it be a brutal final battle? A slow realization that his time is over? Or something even more unexpected? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep reading, keep exploring, and remember, heroes never truly die.